That's interesting. I'm wondering why he had that as the intro, the outro. The album's called Donda. I really enjoyed like whatever speech that he took words from his mom. Like I kind of went into this album thinking it was gonna be this, right? Donda to me, at its best, could be um two songs mashed up, which is uh let me play. These two Kanye songs. It's Donda, if it's perfect, for me would be Jesus Walks meets Hey Mama. You get what I mean? So like at the end, I don't know, like no disrespect to the family of Larry Hoover, but what that got to do with your mother? Like, you know what I mean? I thought, man, I was over here about to get teary eyed. I'm hearing his mom speak. I'm like, damn, yo, imagine losing your mom. Imagine how that affected him. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Larry Hoover. I'm like, what the hell going on with this business? Anyway, I actually like the album. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not judging this on a complete rap scale. First of all, I think this is a gospel album, right? It's still gonna be technically gospel. All the words are muted. I don't even think there's a explicit version that's gonna be released. I could be wrong, but Kanye did say he's not doing secular music anymore. It would assume, or it could be assumed, that this album will be a gospel album, right? Which, truth be told, I think it's a very personal album for him. I think he put a lot of time into it. He is scatterbrained, but I think he tried to put his best foot forward. And I can't judge it like I would judge other people's albums. Like, hey, how many hit songs? How many this? How many that? Like, I think it was good. I don't think it was phenomenal. I think it was good. There's certain songs I really like, certain songs I could do without. I do think Kanye used the people to A&R the project, right? Or executive producer project, whatever you want to call it. And the verses that y'all heard at one release or listening session that you didn't hear at the other one, he put back on the joint. So, and that's why there's so many part ones and part twos. So I give him credit for that. I don't think it's a trash album. I think it's a very personal album. And I respect that. And I like that. At this point, like, think about it, right? And not to use almost like his arch nemesis, Drake, but like, we love personal stuff from Drake, but like Drake has told us everything. You know what I mean? The only thing he ain't tell us was the kid shit. But after, like, you get to a point that it's only so much you can let people in. After that, he's just rapping about his cars and rapping about his ops that we don't know who they are. You get me? So again, the mere fact that we always knew, I think we always wanted an album like this from Kanye, or at least wanted him to touch on the subject matter. And I think he always wanted to. It felt like this was a mission for him. I think we know that his mom passing away altered the trajectory of his life, altered his actions, altered his state of mind. And it's hard for me to listen to a project that seems like a tribute project and be like, trash, you know what I mean? Or like, this is as close and as personal it could get. I remember who did a tribute, project not too long ago. And it's hard to judge somebody's tribute project because they're dedicating it to someone who's not here, and they're trying to use their memories, their own thoughts, their own feelings. They're also probably thinking about what that person would have liked, And I do think, his mom would have wanted him to go in the gospel route a little bit, So him being full forced into that and him producing an album like that, it's hard for me to just come out and say anything other than either I got it or I didn't. And if I got it, that means I probably did like it to some extent. So I think it's good. You know what I mean? I don't even think this album, you can't even compare it to whatever Drake's gonna put out. Drake's gonna put out a bunch of hits. You know what I mean? Like, you can't compare it. So I respect Kanye for putting this out. And also I respect him for even putting it out even now. Like, drop it right now. Like, this is not even a competition type album. Like, you can't, like, this is a tribute album to me. You can't compete. You feel me? I do want to say the features on the projects. I feel like Kanye, and this is why Kanye is great. That's why, he gets more of a pass when it comes to, like, things or knocks against, usual other artists when it comes to writing and stuff like that. Kanye is the producer. Like, we look at him still like the producer. Now, remember on a couple songs, he got into some flows and pockets. We all know Kanye could rap, and Like, he's somebody who can flow and he got bars when he wants to. But when it comes to like the features, like I give Kanye credit for the features killing it. I heard some people say, yo, the features carried the joint. Well, you could say the features carried it, but them niggas can't carry their own projects. I'm like, no disrespect to some of the niggas we talking about on the album, but Kanye, like, some of these niggas, like Kanye got 2 washed up niggas on there I thought was washed. Them niggas, they sound better than they ever sounded. He got even 5 Yo Foreign on that shit, sounded amazing. This is the first time I heard 5 Yo Foreign rap coherently without acting like he was reading a haiku, and he ain't say bow one time. This is amazing. Kanye needs the credit. I'm sorry. We got to give Kanye some credit for that, okay? So I'm giving Kanye credit for bringing the best out of people. So I don't want y'all, like, think about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. To me, it's on my short list. If you're going to ask me on top 10 albums of all time, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is up there. It's up there not only because of bars, and most people judge hip-hop off bars. It's up there just because of music. You know what I mean? And when you create an album like that, right? And y'all love the album, right? If you create an album like that, it's not only about him rapping 90% of the time. It's about the music production. It's about the vibe, the aura. And to be honest, like, these Donda listening parts help kind of create that scene too. But, like, remember around that time when My Beautiful Dark Twisted, it was about the orchestra. It was about the choir, the fucking harp, the person with the violin. Like, all of these things made what Kanye was doing more than just rap music, right? For most people, we're like, yo, where's the hot beat you're gonna rap on, and what's the catchy hook? With Kanye, like, it's kind of different in what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, most of these songs, he's letting the instrumental cook for a minute. Like, this seems like a musical piece. Now, if we had to put it to a genre, I'm saying gospel. But Kanye puts together these musical body of works where I don't look at him just like a rapper. I look at him like almost like a conductor, and he's having all these pieces and he's figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like, like to compare, I would say like a Quincy Jones-esque type, you know, compilation. So whether you heard Kanye, some of y'all were like, oh, he got carried by a feature. Man, Kanye made this shit happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, all these niggas sound better than they ever sound by themselves. So I'm going to give Kanye the credit. You know, somebody said Beethoven. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. I'm going to give Kanye that for what he's doing. Another thing, what Kanye's doing, no other artist is doing. You know what I mean? Again, he's taking risks that, like, as much as we fans don't want to admit it, we like when the artist don't take no risk. Like, the moment the artist takes a risk, and if he misses, shit, he missed with Yeezus, and I called it trash, right? And I was like, get out of here with that. But he probably needed to make Yeezus to what was the project after that? Yeezus was 2013, right? Am I tripping? Was it The Life of Pablo? It was The Life of Pablo, right? It was The Life of Pablo, correct? He probably needed to make that. Just like he needed to make 808s and Heartbreaks to make some of his later work. So, you know, I'll give credit to somebody like Kanye for doing that. I know the conversation, especially leading up to this week, which, by the way, we could get into slightly. If I'm skeptical if Drake is dropping. I'm skeptical, and I've asked him directly, and, you know, like, he just liked my post. I was like, you dropping, bro? He just double tapped. He didn't even say yes or no. But anyway, the reason why is, and I'm not gonna look into that even dynamic because he usually answers my question. But still, it didn't feel like Drake was really announcing some shit. Like, we don't have an album cover. It was just one random shit on ESPN. Like, it just seemed kind of weird. Like, he's not even acknowledging the album dropping, like, at all. Like, the nigga's still like showing him in the studio kicking it with his friends. Like, he's not acknowledging. It doesn't seem like a nigga who's on a rollout. Like, yo, Thursday I'm gonna be on OVO Sound on Sirius XM. No, he ain't saying shit. He just, okay, album coming. This don't seem like how Drake would like to roll out an album, if you ask me. Also, I still kind of feel like Drake wants to have these moments of the lead up. And right now, what's the lead up single for Drake's album? Granted, he doesn't need a lead single, right? He don't need a lead single at the moment, right? But the head of steam, pause, that he was headed into Scorpion with God's Plan, I think made for a different reception. You got to realize Drake is hit driven, while Kanye, There's probably gonna be some hit in this mix. There's a couple songs I kind of like that could be like kind of radio records and be like, oh, that's the hit. But like immediately, I don't look at Kanye like he about to have a hit. I look at him like he's about to have the body of work. But Drake also is moving in pop, like pop level. So like you have to have those records, right? It can't be like, oh, the album cuts are great, So I just don't know if Drake personally is dropping. It doesn't seem like this rollout for him, unless you want to believe the conspiracy theories that says, well, him and Kanye been in cahoots this whole time and whatever. Like, no disrespect, but I don't think with or without the quote unquote beef with Kanye, the hype for Drake album would be any lesser anymore. He hasn't dropped a project in 3 years. Yes, he did drop the Dark Lane demo tapes, but we've been waiting for this next project, which ends up being Certified Lover Boy, and he's at a pretty pivotal part of his career. So I just feel like you don't go into it'll be 5 days till September 3rd, and you just go in there with one ESPN. Like, he's not even talking about it. You know what I mean? At all. Now, truth be told, I think he's going to clarify some shit now that Donda's out. And I think that's a dope move on the behalf of Kanye. Don't wait for Drake. Drake trying to mind fuck Kanye so bad. Like, that's one of the things when people say, yo, Drake, Kanye's pressed. Man, I'm not saying Drake is pressed, but like, Drake is actively doing shit to rile up a nigga who doesn't know how to subliminally get at him the way he does. You know what I mean? It's like when Jay-Z uses to sneak this a bunch of niggas, and niggas is making full-blown diss tracks at Jay-Z. And you know what all Jay-Z fans said? Jay ain't even talk about you. Like, you're obsessed. You're like, what the fuck? This nigga been dissing me? Like, so again, I completely believe that they're playing these like mind games, and that's why I think maybe this might be a Fox or a fake album release date, but it might be real. But I think now that Kanye's dropped, he'll probably unveil that. And I think Kanye did a smart thing by just dropping on your own time. Another thing is he dropped it 8 a.m. today, but we've known this for a while though, right? I actually thought for a little bit when he was going at Drake, maybe he want to get back in the numbers game. I don't think Kanye's been in the numbers game in a while. Like, I'm like, Kanye's a nigga who like he'll drop it like one day in the release window. Like, he don't care. Like, could Kanye do great numbers? Yes. Is he making albums to do great numbers with big singles and doing all the most that most rappers would do? No. He's doing it however he wants. And I think that's a pretty freeing experience. And that's why I'm also comparing him to Drake. It's a little bit freeing experience when, bro, like I see people say, yo, he's going to do 500K. Bro, if Kanye does 200K, what are you going to say about him? Like, nigga, he's a fucking billionaire who still, his influence is so bigger than even music at this point. What you going to say, he fell off? Bro, Kanye, yo, when he was supporting Trump, nobody thought he could command every single person in hip-hop and outside of hip-hop at his beck and call to fucking show up to 3 stadiums and just everybody, Donda, 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 Donda. And shit, even if he spent a shit ton of money to make all that happen, everybody was acting like there's fucking strength in me. But like when you get bullied, you always get to that point. And hopefully, for most students in the United States, like hopefully they don't, like white kids, they shooting up the school. Like, like they get bullied a little bit, they whisper to their black friend, their only black friend, don't show up tomorrow. It's over. For us, regular people, somebody said Kanye hasn't been bullied. Yeah, all right, man. I really think Kanye feels like Drake is bullying him. My nigga, Kanye has begged publicly to try to squash the beef with Drake. He's apologized, explained himself. I didn't do it. You think I snitched on you about your son? It wasn't me. Yo, I really didn't know. He did interviews about it. Drake said one time, yeah, that I think he did it, and he been dissing that nigga ever since. He been alluding to fucking his wife. He been like, that's what I'm saying. Drake took that one thing and started almost terrorizing this nigga. He's alluding to fucking his wife. He's rapping about like circling the block, like all type of shit. I'm telling you, Kanye been on like that's. I used to feel bad for Kanye when I was talking about like what was going on at the time when I was on Everyday Struggle, because the nigga was like, yeah, I showed up to his doorbell and I rung it. Like he looked like he was trying to bring milk and cookies to Drake, trying to cop a plea, and this nigga Drake just had his foot on his neck. So I think Kanye's at the point. Like, look at the text. Like, y'all gotta look at the text, right? Look at the text. My nigga, That's what I was using it to compare to my story because the nigga was bullying me. Nigga, that one day I got fed up, bro. I gave that nigga a Lil Reese 300 combo, and he was bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I grabbed that nigga and I flung him. Nigga, I don't know where that strength even came from, brother. I can't even tell you to this day. But it was out of first, and truth be told, it was like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I remember I was a little emotional too, because like I was like, yo, stop fucking. Like, I was kind of like tears in my eyes. It's cool, bro. It's like you're a kid, bro. Like, you feel me? But like, I had hella strength. I was like, what the fuck? Am I Superman? But anyway. So I understand when you get to that point where you break down and you're like, yo, this nigga is fucking with me. I just think Kanye was there. I could be wrong. I'm just telling you, I can only use my experiences to come up with my theories, because these niggas ain't really saying a lot. You feel me? Like, they're not saying too much. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the Kanye post where he puts the Joker shit? Damn, I don't know how much I've been. Oh, I think it's coming. Right here. Bro, just read this shit. I live for this. I've been fucked with by nerd ass jock niggas like you my whole life. Nigga, that just sounds like niggas have tried to bully me my whole life. That's what that sounds like. That don't sound like that to y'all? It sounds like that to me. And he's like, it just sounds like he was just like, yo, I'm fed up, nigga. You ain't about to keep like poking at me and playing with me. Fuck you. And I do think he went a little far by putting up the address, kind of showing, all right, nigga, whatever you with, I'm with. Because Drake been rapping about circling his blocks. Like, yo, this nigga Drake giving out like a Siri address to be like, and I went to the left, then to the right, up the block, then I stopped. I think he's giving a direction to the nigga's crib. In a song, the whole time we bopping like, we doing a block boy dance. Yo, this nigga Kanye trembling like what the fuck? I'm telling you, bruh. So I think that's what Kanye fed up with that nigga, man. You fed up with that nigga. That's why he add Pusha to the convo. He's like, fuck that. He tired of apologizing. Remember, he was at the apologizing stage like, yo, man, yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I didn't do anything to him. And if anything I did resulted in that song being produced or the info getting out there, I'm sorry. Like, now he's on some shit like, man, fuck that nigga, man. Fuck that nigga, man. What if Drake dropped today? Drake ain't dropping. That's another thing, though. Drake definitely not dropping. Nigga, Drake also, and this is what I'm saying, where Kanye's at is a very freeing experience, I would imagine, for him a bit. Especially if he doesn't have that inner desire, because he did already. Like, yo, I gotta knock Drake off the top spot. If that's what's motivating him, you're gonna be dropping music for a long fucking time. You're gonna be doing features. You're gonna be in the studio constantly, nigga. You'll never put out a pair of tennis shoes again in your life. Because that's what Drake does all the time. All he does is rap. Like, nigga, you're over here trying to build silos. You're in fucking Wyoming digging for oil. Like, you're in Paris, like, trying to fucking make the new crop top that Kid Cudi gonna wear. Like, you doing all type of stuff. Like, this nigga Drake only doing one thing. Like, Drake only, like, one thing. So, anyway. Drake ain't, so to me giving my reason why I think Drake ain't gonna drop today. Drake is dropping, and I think with notice, Drake is his own competitor. Like, Drake, like even the talks in the last year, yo, this is finally the moment. Drake falling off, which, by the way, that conversations came up in the last 3 years, right? And by the way, he did a good job of shutting it up with Scorpion, right? Actually, the last 4 or 5 years, right? It's right around like 2017. Once Kendrick did Damn, like 2017. And remember, I think people have warmed up to Views. Views has now gotten more important and sounds better in hindsight, but niggas used to hate on Views. You feel me? But people have been saying this whole fall off thing. Bro, the only time people will really have some solid proof when they're like, oh shit, like Drake is falling off, they're going to use him against himself. Yo, he drops on a Sunday, so instead of doing 800,000, Drake sells 400,000. Drake selling 400,000 first week on an album, or even 300,000. Niggas will be like, yo, he's done. We told you, little baby, it's his time. Like niggas just listen to Young Boy now. Like niggas don't say anything. You feel me? So again, it's one of those things where I think even Scorpion was an attempt to try to outdo himself and do something that would try to further his legacy. Like Drake is on legacy timing right now. He's like LeBron in a way. I always compare him to LeBron. Like, man, Bron been the best player, and by the way, Bron still wants to be the best player every year. But like, Bron knows that right now in his career, it's about the legacy. Like, people want to mark the year when they're like, yo, yeah, Bron was never the same then. You feel me? Oh, this was the year that Bron got eliminated in the first round? Oh, shit. This was what happened after this year. You know what I mean? So, it's legacy talk. I think Drake wants to continue to have classics. I think he wanted to have a bona fide rap classic. That's why he was trying to separate the albums for Scorpion, right? I think he wanted to have a bona fide or a certified rap classic, and people still didn't really give him that, you know what I mean? And I think he kind of realized, like, man, fuck it. Like, you know, in conversations he had with me, niggas say, yo, my next album, I'm looking more towards Nothing Was the Same. He's like, I believe that was a classic for me. That was around the right length, this and third. I'm going there with it. I have a lot more to talk about. Because that's one of the things I was worried about. I'm like, yo, are you going to have a lot to talk about? Still, like, Drake is telling us everything about his life. You know what I mean? Like how many more stories did he keep in the tuck about when he was 16 and, like, he snuck out the crib and stole a car, stole his grandpa's car, his uncle's car, and was taking some chick out on a date and piped her down, you know what I mean, in the bushes or some shit. You know what I mean? Or the chick in the strip club that did some shit. Like, he's told every story already. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where now his life is less relatable. Like, when that nigga's gonna talk about, oh yeah, I just copped a new car, y'all niggas will never see it unless it's on my Instagram. Like, you're like, okay. Like, it's a lot of bragging now, you know what I mean? Like, but it's natural. The nigga told you every broke story he had. Now all the stories and new experience he's making is some rich nigga shit. I just bought a cargo plane. While your fucking other favorite rappers are renting little itty bitty jets, I'm on a cargo plane, bitch ass nigga. Yeah, that's the type of shit he got rap about now. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So, people are going to judge Drake in terms of his sales. If his sales is low compared to, like, his last album, oh, he falling off. Honestly, I think they're going to judge him if he don't got as much number ones. Think about Scorpion. Scorpion had Kiki, Do You Love Me? He had, what else? God's Plan. He had a bunch of songs, a plethora of music that was fucking just chart-topping, dominating songs. Before that, with what project was it? He had One Dance, Controller. Like, his albums have buying, and truth be told, like, when we think about his albums as well, well, I'll say more with Views, and this is why I think Views is getting more. Let me just make sure. What was on Views? Views sounds better, and we look at it better over time because successfully, even though it came out in 2016, successfully, I think Drake was able to change the sound of music. Like, he brought in, you could call it culture vulture or whatever the fuck you want, but shit, he had people listen to songs like this. And truth be told, even right now, I wish Drake would get back on some Jamaican shit. Like, this was a different vibe. Everybody was making just like island type songs. I'm not saying Drake started it, but he was one of the main proponents to make that the thing in hip hop. Everybody, nigga, Tiger went to motherfucking Jamaica and was trying to make a song. You feel me? Again, obviously you gotta give Rihanna credit too because work came before. But yeah, these were the bops and the vibes, man. Like, this kind of brought out an international element in music because we saw it on More Life as well. So that's all I'm saying. I remember people always talking about Views or More Life. I remember, go back to the skit with me and Joe. I don't know if it's still up on YouTube for Everyday Struggle when we were doing an intro. Mad people used to say More Life was better than Views. Fuck that. Views is better than More Life. Nigga, remember, Views was the album that was supposed to be Drake trying to almost recreate Take Care. And obviously his life had progressed to a certain point. But even from the intro, Keep the Family Close, you know what I mean? Him trying to address certain shit. You With Me, you know, Feel No Ways. He was still rapping about some shit going back in his hometown, Western Road Flows. That was him doing that. Still was fucking with his, you know, his Houston, like, I don't know if we want to call it, like, influence, Faithful, you know what I mean? Introduced the vision. Had WizKid on that bitch. Yeah, that shit was pretty good in hindsight. Views is better than More Life to me still. But still, all in all, I think Drake. I think Drake's rollout at this point. I think whenever he's dropping an album, I'll be shocked. I'm so which if Drake finesse me, I'm gonna be tight. But I'm canceling all my plans for this Thursday. Okay, I'm ready for Drake to drop CLB. I don't think he gonna drop it, but in case he do drop it, we gonna be here on stream. Um, I don't know. It'll be an interesting time. I really think his rollouts are like this these days. Announce the album. Well, people know the title. Drop the album cover and drop a song. Get that 2 weeks. Do some motherfucking. He's gonna do an interview. Like Drake always does a big interview. Like we know, like we kind of know the Drake process. Like we don't hear no interview coming out with nobody. We don't hear nothing kind of going on. Like I do know he's been shooting music videos, but ain't really hear what's going on. You feel me? Somebody say, and truth be told, I think somebody just said it like, yo, he's dropping a single. Maybe he just, wait, thanks for that comment. Maybe he just drops a fucking single. Maybe he drops a single. I also think that Drake didn't want to line up with Kanye. Not because he thought that Kanye would have a better album. It's just that, man, Kanye just made a really meaningful personal album. Kanye West at this moment is once again reclaiming his cultural equity and people want to see him win. Kanye West pretty much put the whole fucking industry on his album. He got Shenseea on songs twice. You know what I mean? Like he brought Ruga out. Like, come on. Like he's giving everybody an opportunity if you got some talent, right? And people want to see Kanye win. Like, you just went through a divorce. You want to see him win. Like, that's the thing about also, like, even entertainment, but just in life in general. Sometimes you want to see niggas go up, and then when they go up too much, you be like, all right, you need to have a humbling moment. And then usually that moment, they love to see when you're down. You know what I mean? And right at the moment when, like, you're going to be down and out, they feel sympathy for you, and they want to bring you back up. And I think right now people want to, once again, appreciate Kanye. Like, everything everybody's saying about Kanye now, niggas was not trying to say when he had that little MAGA hat on. You feel me? Like, niggas like, fuck this nigga, man. So, you know, people do change. So I think Drake didn't want to line up against him because Drake would gain nothing. Drake's going to probably put out a good album, but Drake don't need no musical competition to win. You know what I mean? And, like, if anything, it would probably help Kanye in the competition aspect because in that aspect, like, people are going to go from one to the other. Niggas going to listen to Drake just regardless. Lil Tech